Hey everybody, this is Kurt Snow from Kurt Snow Fishing, and welcome to my garage. Just out here on a rainy day. You might be able to hear the rain hitting the roof. Kind of cold and damp out. Can't get out to fish right now, so I wanted to do a quick video for you to show you a hack that I did to my 2007 G3 HP180 boat. I bought it brand new in early 2008, and the boat has dual rod lockers, one on each side, port side, starboard side. The lockers are rated for 7-foot rods or up to 7-foot rods, but I found over the years as I've had the boat and changed out different rods that getting a 7-foot rod into these lockers is possible, but it's not always been easy. So I got really frustrated with having to be very careful when putting a 7-foot rod into the locker. And in fact, I did break a tip off of one brand new rod trying to fit it into a tube where it's supposed to take a 7-foot rod. So I finally figured out a way to fix that, and I'm going to walk you through that hack so that if you have an older G3 boat like I have that's supposed to take 7-foot rods and you're having a hard time with it, or even if maybe you have something that's rated for 6.5-foot rods or whatever, this should fix that problem for you. I can now slide 7-foot 3-inch rods in and out of the rod lockers with no problems at all, and I'm going to show you how that's done. So stick with me and we'll get to it. Okay, so this is the port side rod locker. You're looking at my front deck, and you can see I've got rods in there. They all have rod sleeves or rod jackets on them, whatever you want to call it. And using those rod jackets is part of the solution. Let's put it this way. It's required for this solution to work without worrying about damaging your rods. So if you look way up in the front, you can see that there are tubes for each rod. You can also see that some tubes I've actually got 2 rods slid into them, and that's really easy to do when you have the rod jackets on there, or rod sleeves, whatever you prefer to call them. So putting a rod jacket on won't fix the problem of not being able to get a 7-foot rod in there easily, but the fix that I'm going to show you requires that that rod jacket be on there. So now that I've shown you that, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. Right now I've done it only to the rod locker on the port side, and I've only done it to the 4 tubes that are to the right. The 5th tube up here with the snakeskin looking rod jackets up on the top left corner. I have not done it to that yet. I don't have that many rods that are over 7 feet. In fact, I only have one that's over 7, and I have several others that are 7. So by doubling them up, I've been able to get them in and out of there no problem at all, and not have to worry about having more tubes available. In the future, though, I do plan on making the same hack or same update or same fix, whatever you want to call it, to the starboard side rod locker. But for now, let me show you what I did. So I'm going to switch the camera around here and show you how I went about doing this. Okay, so see these 2 rubber caps right here? These are caps that are actually on the ends of the rod tubes that go up into the bow of the boat. So there's the rod locker that I just showed you a minute ago. So if you swing around and you go up to the bow of the boat, those rod tubes extend up underneath the front deck up here. And they have the tubes in there to protect the rods because it's just one of those things where it's an organizational thing, I guess. So this is the bow panel, and by removing that bow panel, I'll show you what I did in there. So give me a second here. I'm going to pause the video and remove that bow panel, and I'll show you exactly what I did inside that area underneath the front deck that allowed me to remove these caps. These are only 2 of them. I removed 4, and once I did that, I was able to fit the longer rods in. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to remove that bow panel, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so I've removed all the screws from the bow panel. You can see I've got, let's see here, 3 screws up here that I took out, and then there are 2 screws. There's one here, one over there. So those 5 screws are what hold the bow panel in. So if I pop the bow panel out of there, you can see I've got a lot of wires. This white wire here is is for my LED lights, which should be in another video that I put up. Anyway, if you look down here, get the wires out of the way, you can see the tubes sticking out right here and right there and then down below. And you can see I've actually got a couple of rod tips sticking out of there. You see the rod jackets? So if you look down here, you can see I've got two rods sticking out of that tube, and then I've got another one over here. So basically what I did was I removed the caps off of, sorry for all my hand getting in the way here. So I removed the cap from this, that, and that. And there's still another tube way over there in the back that still has a cap on it. I'm going to pause the video and get a flashlight real quickly. All right, so I grabbed a flashlight. It's not a very bright one, but it shows you that there's still one more tube. There we go. One more tube over there with a cap on it. And eventually, I'll probably cut that cap and slide that off. So I'll have five tubes over there that will hold rods that are 7 feet very comfortably, and even rods over 7 feet. Because if you look right here, this particular rod is actually a 7-foot 3-inch rod. And so really quickly, while I've got the light down there, the reason that I recommend you only do this if you have rod jackets is because once those rods stick out of the tube the way this one is doing, you know, I've got the tip and possibly one other guide that are out past the edge of that rod. So putting the rod in up through is no problem, but taking the rod out without a rod sleeve or a rod jacket on it is going to create an opportunity for the guide to get caught on the edge of the tube right there on your way back out of the rod locker. And that's not a good thing because you could either break a guide, pop the eye out of the guide, or bend the guide. So I only recommend doing this if you're using rod jackets or rod sleeves. But so that's my fix for the problem with rods 7 feet and over, either not fitting or not fitting comfortably. And I wouldn't recommend that you try to put an 8-foot rod in there because there's just not a whole lot of room up inside for an 8-foot rod. You could probably comfortably fit 7.5, but no more than that. So hopefully that'll give you an idea as to how to maybe free up some space to fit longer rods in your rod locker if you have a G3 boat or any other boat with tubes with this type of cap on the end of it. So nothing highly technical, but it does the trick, and it allows me to fit these rods in and out of there easily and comfortably without having to worry about snapping the tip off. So I hope this helps, and if you like it, please like the video, share it, and would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. And so that's it for now. This is Kurt Snow, and until the next time I see you, fish on. Bye-bye.